Pull that shit open. I love it. Sorted. Hey Junpei, you got a minute? Santa had shown up out of nowhere, gave Junpei no small start. Here, take this. Santa pulled something out of his pocket. The hell's this? It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it. What is this? I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figure we might as well hang on to it anyway. Then why don't you hold on to it? Santa gave him a ring smile. I don't know how to say that. You know what I hate most in the world? These Junpei? Do you want to know? I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck. Hope, faith, love, and luck. Damn straight. And you hate these things? Yeah. You got a problem with that? Not really, but Junpei tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say. What does a bookmark have to do with any of that? Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward. Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning on it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like a flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So, a leaf language, I guess? Yeah, you could call them leaf words. Leaf words? Junpei looked at the bookmark. Hope, faith, love, and luck. So yeah, I want you to take it, okay? Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright? Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands. Junpei, what do you want to do? I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do. Is it important? Is it significant in any way? I don't know. I guess I'll take it. I mean, yeah, okay. Decided to take it. After all, why shouldn't he? Alright, sure, I'll take it. He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last confused look. Phew, man, I feel a lot better now. That thing was a real pain, you know? Do you really hate those 4 words that much? Yeah, well, they can all betray you, you know? Hope, faith, love, even your destiny. What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How did he become such a bitter person? For a moment, they looked at each other. Well, that's not my only reason. What? That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4. As in, the number 4 for death? What? Worried about the 4 horsemen? Nah. Come on, man, that's just silly. Maybe back in the Dark Ages that kind of crap scared people, but this is the 21st century, and I'm a 21st century guy. Look at my hair. Then why'd you hate 4 so much? Because it's a half-ass number. Not the best, or the worst. That's why. You know what's weird? I can kind of see what he means with that. What? 9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number. Santa's explanation made no sense. Junpei was even more confused than before. You play? Play? You mean like what you mean like play the stock market? You mean like gambling? Yeah, of course. What else could I mean? Stock market! In Baccarat, the best possible hand totals 9. They call it Le Grand, think, or grande. But the lowest, most worthless cards, the zeros, they call monkey. Just like the guy in charge of the game, huh? Zero's a monkey. Santa blinked, utterly stunned. Then he began to laugh. Man! Ow! You're totally right. The guy who trapped us in here sure is one hell of a monkey. That was when Lotus spoke up. You know, if you think about it, the nonary game is really a lot like Baccarat. Apparently she'd been listening. Of course, it doesn't use any of that stupid digital root junk. You just drop the tens digit, and that's it. So it does have the same idea of your final number needing to be a single digit. Yeah, I guess you got a point. And in both games, whoever has 9 wins. The person who makes 9 wins? Did you forget already? Don't you remember what Zero said? The exit is hidden, but it is there. Seek the exit. Seek the door that carries a 9. So, if we want to get off this boat, we have to make a team whose numbers have the digital root of 9. And only people in that team are going to make it out alive. Of course. That's why it's called the nonary game. What? Huh? You don't know? Nonary means something derived from 9, or base 9. It's derived from the Latin prefix nonna, which means 9. While we're at it, the prefix for 1 is uni. You know, like the unicorn, or uni? There we go. The horse with 1 horn. 2 is bi, like binary. Binary means composed of 2 parts. 3 is tri, I'm sure you've heard that one plenty. Like trio, triple, triangle. You get the idea. After that, you have quart, quinti, sext, septim, and so on. And of course, the prefix for 8 is octo, like octopus. It's called that because it has 8 legs. Get it? Yeah, I see. So then, nonna means 9. Lotus nodded. So, how many of us are trapped on this ship? That'd be 9. And what are the bracelet numbers we have? They go from 1 to 9. And our time limit? How many hours did we have? Zero said 9 hours. And finally, to get out of this ship, we need to find a door with a 9 that's hidden somewhere in the ship. By making a team with the digital root of 9. Lotus nodded again. And there you have it. The number 9 is everywhere in this game. He's got a real theme of 9s for the whole thing. No wonder it's called the nonary game. Somewhere far away, Junpei heard the creak of stressed metal. It sounded almost like Zero laughing at them. Or the sad, desperate scream of a pig headed to the slaughterhouse. Alright, so let me just check how many... Okay, we have 2 panels and we've got some curtains, so let's head into here. There's a wall covered in small square tiles. They've got geometric shapes on them. Well, can I put the thingy on them? No? Shit. Maybe I'm supposed to take this into the bathroom in the upper one. There's a curtain rod running along the ceiling. Let's put that shower curtain on those hooks. Let's try spraying the curtains. Ah, that's a pretty obvious peephole. Somebody's really dedicated. With a hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So, you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Or maybe they're into, like, those home invasion fantasies. Home invasion. Interesting, I see. You two are really idiots, you know that. Hey, man. Just because. Let's try spraying the curtains. There's a hole in the curtain. If I look at it from a ways back, I can see a single tile. Alright, from here, I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. What? Okay. Fifth from the top and 3rd from the right. Let's have a close look, shall we? Nothing strange here. Nope. That thing's not budging. And that means... What? What do you mean, what does that mean? And that means... what? I figured there'd be like a tile here that I could snatch to use in that painting, but... So I think this was like... from the right, so 1, 2, 3, and 5 down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tiled wall. They are ordinary everyday tiles. Oh yeah. There's another bathroom. Ah, shit. Okay. Damn it. I'm locked in. Oh shit. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let me go. Let me leave. What's up? You going back already? I can't just leave June there by herself. Huh. What, you think you're her knight or her protector or something? You're creeping me out, man. Love. Faith. Hope. Whatever, man. I'm going. Here it is. Yeah, this one's loose. I think I can get under this with my nails. Yeah. Sweet. I just need to have a look at this. Alright. Try and remember that. The exit. Lotus is Santa in the room on the other side. I'm gonna go check up on it. Okay, bye. There's a tile in the frame, so I guess I'm supposed to put tiles in the empty spaces. Alright, I'm gonna give it a shot. Well, my bollocks. Well, my bollocks. My bollocks. My bollocks. No. So right now I'm just doing shit. There we go. Yes, Junpei! I did it! Oh god, that scared me. I thought the painting fucking screamed then. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know? Anyways, take a look. I think there's something inside. I got a Mars key! We're going to Mars. Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture whilst that slid down. What's the deal with this picture anyway? Santa had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused. I think I've seen this picture before. Where? In a book? There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. I never heard of him. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book. And what's this interesting theory? Morphogenic field, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. And I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk is giving me a headache. Santa put his hands on his head, as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued. Lowly peasant scum. It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shapes of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye. What part of that isn't difficult exactly? Lotus did not look pleased. Alright, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism. Telepathy? Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it is close enough for a simple approximation. Santa suddenly burst into laughter. Ah! You serious? Telepathy, you fucking knobhead. Who do you think we are? Kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that. Yes, I agree. Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict. I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. That's a very good mindset to approach something with. It was probably just someone latching on to a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in this book. Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke. Hey, what do you think this picture looks like? Santa answered first. What do you mean? Isn't it just, like, abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. Ah! Right, okay. That's it. What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you? I guess it looks like... I think I have an idea on what the purpose of this picture and its presence is in the game is meant to signal to. But if I had to actually say what it looks like, God, I'm gonna say it looks like... a fun yara ranpin babada ganoush? One of them. See, I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here. Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei. What the hell is a funny... What do you mean, what the hell is a funny... You mean, you don't know? How the hell would I know? How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. Say you're sorry. Apologize to the Fredbrother. Goodness, you are such a rude woman. Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth and as she shook. Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See? Like this. Lotus pointed out parts of the picture, and eventually a dog took shape in them. What the fuck?! It looked as though she had a point. Oh yeah! Dude! That's so awesome! It was a dog! Santa also nodded in agreement. So? now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us. Lotus nodded and began to speak. A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify initially, but once you figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. The first picture was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. Firstly, they sent the pictures to other parts of the world where British radio and television didn't reach. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc. Then in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects. All in all, there were roughly 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people were shown the two pictures and asked, "What does this picture look like to you?" The results, in and of themselves, were not terribly interesting. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then 2 days later, they broadcast a new show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it could be assumed that the number of people who knew the solution of the dog picture now totaled over 200,000 people. After another 2 days had passed, they gathered a number of research subjects from areas where British TV and radio did not exist. This time, they were only able to find a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them were people who had participated in the first test. There were, however, given the same test and the same two pictures. The results were shocking. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test had yielded 9.2 success rate. The change was not statistically significant. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find a dog grew from 3.9 to 6.8, a very significant increase. So do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen that picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen the picture. But even so, it was only the little added success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? Why did that happen? What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she was very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backward. Junpei didn't budge, instead straight back into Lotus's eyes. Ugh, dreamy. Does this have something to do with that field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye? So if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field? Psych! Ah, you dumb motherfucker! I cannot believe you fell for that bullshit! You dumb son of a bitch! Her manner suddenly shifted, and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off. I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me so seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. That really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station, after all. At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure. Right, yeah. Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I already thought you were serious. Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just, what? Pseudoscience. There we go. Okay, right. Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong. Unclear. Alright, enough nonsense. We've got the key, now let's get out of here. Word. Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture. Alright. Now again. Now if you remember... Hold on, I'm going to open this cake now because I'm going to talk to you a bit. Now. Trace your mind back to the first playthrough. Into the laboratory. Where Science Boy was. Clover was stuck behind a gate. And we were with Lotus. In the computer room. Oh, that is a good cake. Now. She mentioned another theory, didn't she? A theory about the human mind, the human brain, sorry, being a monitor for our thoughts. It's not where thoughts take place. Thoughts take place somewhere else. However, we view them in our mind. They are the monitor. They then mentioned that, you know, when the monitor's damaged, or like say on a computer, if a monitor's damaged, you may not be able to see what's going on, but that doesn't mean that the computer's broke. You know, everything's still functioning fine. You know, you'd be able to open programs, be able to do all this, that, just like you would if the monitor was fine, but you can't see it. It's a mess. You can't understand it. You can't recognize it because the monitor's broken. Now, if you try and apply that same logic to the human mind, where the brain is the monitor, you can come up with some pretty interesting stuff. And then she gave examples of how people with short-sightedness, people unable to speak, unable to distinguish faces, it's not because they are necessarily busted, just their monitor is broken. Alright? Not that they're incapable of it, sorry. Now, when we went further into this, because she went into such depth about it, we were like, really? Really? And she's like, ha 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 ha, I'm just joking, you know? Now she's pulled the exact same shit with a theory, though different, does work hand in hand with what she said in the first playthrough. Okay? This time, she mentions how once you recognize something, you're only able to recognize it in that way. Now previously, you had no idea. You could look at it as many times as you want, but you would never see, I'm going to say the word reality, of it. But as soon as you get given that information, something switches, and now it looks different. It is the exact same thing, but it looks so different, and you can never look at it in the way that you did previously again. It will always be that new thing. The reality is, this is what it is now. That dog test proved it. It's a very clever test. I really like that. Now, I need to ask myself, are these two theories being applied here? This game, this nonary game, with these people? I don't know. But Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of the dog. A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenic field. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Alright, let's go to the hallway. Now I'm gonna get June. You guys head to the door. Alright? Yes! Yes! It unlocked! Good job, Junpei. Oh, watch this bounce. Good, now we can get going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. Come on, Junpei, let's go. Alright, let's go. You found it! Such a bowler. Big dick player! Big dick player. They step through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. It took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yep. Sure does. Well then, let's open it. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. Another new room. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly. Ah, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased. What were you expecting? Was it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. You really think it'd be that easy? Well, yeah, I know, still. Hope! Hope, Santa! Aw, shit! As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we just saw earlier. And we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did. Hey, what's that? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B-deck. Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself. I knew it. See? Look. Junpei did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate. With her finger, Lotus traced a path of the map. She was right. Satisfied that she'd been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket. There's a card reader on the right side of the door. And that means the key card is somewhere in here, right? That seems most likely. Right then, we know what we need to do. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for the clues. Okay, Shaggy.
Take your Junpei on the case, don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Right, let's have a look. A voucher. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 9.